The other day, the First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama, or Dr. Michelle Obama, was, sort of canvassing her program. And this young child asked her a question, and the journalists, even in Puerto Rico, were excited. Look at this little future leader, this bright little girl, this and this question. She stumped the First Lady. And if the First Lady was stumped, I don't think it's because of this question by this young lady. Um, this question this young lady presented was in the news. It's out there. They've been asking this question: should the government be involved in telling people what to eat, to exercise, to do the things that Ms. Obama is sort of advocating? So they're excited, like, oh man, and if they keep this up, and if she get a good publicist, she could end up going to Congress because she showed she has leadership skills and she's smart and all this kind of stuff. When in my book, basically, this child should be just trying to understand, herself, and she might be mature already, a young lady trying to, stay straight and be a good student and do well. That question she presented is big people stuff, all right? And it's not necessarily she's thinking like a big person. It was in the news, and maybe her parents, because this was happening a lot. These parents are telling what to ask, and the teacher, showed him the question. The teacher said, "Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, so on." Like many of these gifted students, it's the parents that not even gifted. The parents, find something, and they just try to change it around a little bit. Some product in Japan or China, and they change it around a little bit, and they give it to the child, and the child going to school, or they might be, educated professor or some, person working in chemistry or in engineering or whatever, and they have some little things that they discovered that don't work, and showing them this, and they might pursue it and end up, like if they're really smart and so forth. So this is what's happening here. To get into Harvard, you find the way driving school bus, you hear the games the students playing. They want you to write a letter saying that they're so good and join scouting, they're gonna play leadership thing and so on, and they know the game to play. And school going to like that, the teachers. And I recall when I graduated in '01. It's true I'm a grown man, and that was what my fifth, sixth degree or something like that. I'm at a church in Georgia. So I told this elder, I said, I graduated with first class honors. I mean, like he was offended, and he just ignored me. But then there was this little white guy. This teacher wrote a note to a parent saying that this boy, he wrote some little essay. The teacher's trying to, keep him straight and help him to encourage him and so forth. When a teacher write them kind of nice note about you, is that you're an idiot. She's trying to encourage you and trying to give you some direction in the compliments. But they take it like, wow, this is next Einstein, you know what I mean? And he just made it like it's a big thing. Like it's almost what, over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years. I wonder what this young man has ended up being. He might be 30 now. I hope he went on to college and university and excelled and so on. But that's the kind of thing that's going on. So I don't think that question really is a child's question. The question this child should have asked is that she looks obese. Say, do you think that good nutrition and exercise and activity and other things would help me to be of a normal weight? That would be a good question for a child. Because, you see, people might be arguing that the First Lady's business is not to tell people what to do, exercise and eat good. But diabetes and obesity in children and in Americans is the government's business. Because if the citizens aren't healthy, you have an unhealthy nation. As a a superpower, a first world country, I mean, your people got to be top notch. Because yeah, you have nuke, you have a good army and all that, but people of themselves got to be strong. People of themselves got to be able to think straight. People of themselves got to be doing the right things. And so far, I think people aren't doing the right things. And so if the first, people, Dr. Obama and others, are encouraging, because when you look at their kids are not obese. They're looking pink of health. I mean, they have something to suggest to all of us. Because I don't even think I look as healthy as those kids, or my children are healthy as those. So maybe they have some. Maybe we should ask them, how your kids are, that would be a good question to this child. How your children are so slim, and the young one that looks a little, different, she's no beast. How you did that? And they'll say, well, the balanced diet, they don't eat between meals, they exercise, and they get enough rest and so on, and they're doing the schoolwork. I mean, that would be a good question. So I really, really do think that Mrs. Dr. Obama is on the right track because, I mean, can you imagine if all our young people are obese and they develop diabetes? What kind of nation we have when we retire? These young people come when they're all sick, they're all in some dialysis, they're on some kind of the diet, the drug they for insulin and so on. That'd be a tragedy. But if a little word of advice, a little concern here and there could make a difference, I say go on with it because these folks they just kind of, just don't really, really want to listen because of whatever the agenda is. But in the long run, they're going to be on their own. Although, I know the predictions are, I know what the Bible teaches about the future, and perhaps people who are working to make things different are kind of foolhardy in that, it's already written there that this is the way the world is going to be. But you just can't sit by and see people killing themselves without even saying, hey, don't do that, I mean, I don't think this child was necessarily brilliant and Congress bound and is going to go to Harvard or Yale. No, this child, they're putting this child in something way beyond the child's kind of ability.